Every morning, the small town of Riverbend woke up the same way. Shops opened their wooden doors, farmers walked to their fields, and children hurried to school with half-tied shoes. Life was simple, steady, and predictable. Among the people was Ben, a young shop assistant. He helped his uncle arrange vegetables at the market. Ben worked hard, but inside, he carried a heavy fear. He avoided speaking up, avoided trying new things, and avoided attention. "Ben, call out the prices louder," his uncle said one morning. Ben nodded, but his voice stayed low. He was afraid people would laugh, afraid he'd make a mistake, afraid of being seen. Riverbend also had a king named King Thomas. He wasn't rich or proud. He wore simple clothes and often walked among the people. He believed lessons were best learned through life, not speeches. One afternoon, King Thomas called everyone to the town square. "I have a simple task for you all," the king said, smiling. "Tomorrow morning, a small path in the forest will be opened. Whoever walks it and reaches the old stone well will receive a reward." People whispered. The forest path was quiet, narrow, and slightly dark. "What's the reward?" someone asked. "You'll find out," the king replied. That night, fear spread faster than curiosity. "The forest is creepy," said Jake, a farmer. "I heard wild animals pass there," said Lisa, a student. "It's probably a trick," said another man. Ben listened silently. His heart beat fast. He wanted to try, but fear wrapped around him like a tight rope. At home, Ben shared his thoughts with his mother. "I want to go," Ben said softly, "but I'm scared." His mother placed a hand on his shoulder. "Fear doesn't mean you're weak," she said. "It means you care. Courage is deciding to move anyway." That night, Ben barely slept. The next morning, the town gathered near the forest entrance. The path looked normal. No smoke, no noise, just trees and shadows. King Thomas stood there calmly. "Remember," he said, "you may turn back any time." One by one, people stepped forward. Then they stopped. Jake shook his head. "Not today." Lisa stepped back. "Maybe next time." Slowly, the crowd thinned. Ben stood at the edge, his hands shaking. His legs felt heavy. Every part of him wanted to turn around. Then he remembered his mother's words. "I'll go," Ben said quietly. The king looked at him. "Are you sure?" Ben swallowed. "No," he said honestly, "but I'll try." Ben stepped onto the path. At first, everything felt louder. Leaves crunched under his feet. Birds flew suddenly. His heart pounded in his ears. "Just keep walking," Ben whispered to himself. A few steps in, his fear grew. His mind filled with stories. What if I get lost? What if something jumps out? He almost turned back. Then he noticed something simple. Sunlight breaking through the trees. Fresh air. The sound of his own breathing. Nothing was chasing him. He kept going. The path twisted, but it was clear. The more Ben walked, the lighter he felt. His steps became steady. His shoulders relaxed. Soon, he saw the old stone well. Ben reached it and laughed softly. "That's it?" he said. At the well, he found a small wooden box. Inside was a note. "Sit, rest, wait." Ben sat beside the well. Minutes passed. Then footsteps approached. King Thomas appeared, smiling. "You did well," the king said. Ben looked confused. "But I didn't do anything special." King Thomas sat beside him. "Tell me, Ben, what was the hardest part?" Ben thought. "Taking the first step." The king nodded. "Exactly." They walked back together to the town square. Everyone watched in surprise. "Ben made it," someone whispered. King Thomas raised his hand. "There was no danger in the forest," he said. "The test was not about strength. It was about fear." The king turned to the people. "Fear grows when we stand still. It shrinks when we move." He then placed the wooden box on a table and opened it. Inside was nothing. People looked confused. "The reward," King Thomas said, "is knowing you are braver than your fear." Ben felt his chest fill with warmth. From that day on, small things changed. Ben spoke louder at the market. He asked questions when he didn't understand. He made mistakes and didn't run from them. Fear didn't disappear, but it no longer controlled him. Sometimes, courage is not being fearless. Sometimes, it's taking one step forward while your hands are shaking. And that step can change everything. Moral lessons from this story. Fear is normal, but courage begins when you move despite it. The hardest step is often the first one, not the journey itself. Confidence grows through action, not waiting. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and share it with someone who needs this message today. Let me know in the comments, what fear are you trying to overcome? And don't forget to subscribe.